Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at NBNRpodcast.com.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Hunter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me. He's like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you going to get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR.
Big red indeed. No block, no rock. Season 4, episode 30. Coming at you from the Nebraska Brewing Company tap room, or should I say, the barrel room in La Vista, Nebraska, 68128. Johnny.
Yo.
Johnny Rodgers.
Hey.
Just a winner of 2 national titles, the first wide receiver to ever win the Heisman Trophy, College Football Hall of Famer. No big deal.
I had a good team.
That helps.
Yeah, I had a good team. Yeah, I'm bringing Richie Glover in here in a minute.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won Outland Lombardi and was 3rd in the Heisman.
I was going to say he finished below you, but it's like if any lineman would have ever win it, both of them came from Nebraska. And Ndamukong Suh
Oh, yeah.
and Rich Glover.
And Rich Glover.
That's a hell of a teammate to have on that side of the ball.
You know you're going to get a block.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know he's going to plug some holes.
He's an ass kicker, booty whooper.
Yeah. So in all those sound bites that we played, did you recognize yourself in one of those?
I thought I did, but, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
Well,
it has.
We were talking about the portal, and you said, talking about whether we approved of it or whatever, and you just said, "What? You can get mad? You're going to go to the portal? Go to another podcast?"
Yeah. You looked at me and you said, Kyle, if you don't like the other guys, what are you going to do? Hop in the portal and get into another podcast?
Right.
Legendary quote. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we wanted to have you on because next month we got the Jet Award Gala coming up, and we wanted to have you to promote that event.
Okay.
And just talk about it, and some of the, I don't know if you want to talk about the winners or just if there's anything special that you feel like the people out there need to know. It is, of course, April 4th at Baxter Arena. And it's since 2011. It's of course named after you, the Jet Awards, Johnny the Jet Rodgers. Since 2011, going to the top return specialist in all of college football. And I'll just throw it over to you if there's anything that you want to tell our listeners about that.
Well, we're just committed to bringing in the baddest men on the planet.
Yeah.
And that's what we call them. The Jet Award winners are the baddest men on the planet. And we say that, modestly, because if you can run a 100-yard touchdown, you're a bad man.
Yeah.
That just ain't happening every day.
Yeah.
No. So we bring in some of the bad world-class athletes. And this year we're going to make it available to more of the community. I've always felt bad. Sometimes we price out a lot of people in our community because we sell tables. People come out, pay $5, $10, $20,000 to come to the dinners.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to bring it to the whole community. So now we have $35, $39 seats that we're offering because we want everybody to be involved, to have that experience, because we want our youth and our people to be proud of the people we have, and our youth to see they can be it and they can do it too.
Oh, yeah. And this community, what a better one, because this community takes pride in sellouts, Johnny.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be awesome to sell out the Jet Awards?
Oh, it'd be the bomb, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing but something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if there's anything that, of course, you've learned over the course of not only playing for Nebraska, but being a native, I mean, we always get crap for it, but this is all we've got.
Do we need more?
No, we don't.
We've had plenty of world-class athletes to come out of Omaha, Nebraska. I was good friends with Bob Gibson. He was one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Boozer was the first Black Olympian come out here from Omaha, Nebraska. Marlon Briscoe, shoot, he had more moves than Allied Van Line.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about bad MFers. Those are like 4 guys you just named off that are, Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
They had to change the rules because of him.
Well, I tell you, Bob Gibson, his brother, Josh Gibson, was my YMCA baseball coach.
Okay.
He taught me baseball from the beginning, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get drafted to the Los Angeles Dodgers right out of high school. And baseball was my first sport, but they just weren't offering nearly as much money in those days. So I really chose football over baseball. But I played baseball at Nebraska. A lot of you guys, y'all probably didn't know that.
I'm trying to think. I might have a picture of you saved in my phone.
Yeah.
From like a media guide, maybe.
Oh, I don't know, but I played baseball. Baseball was my first sport.
Center fielder?
Shortstop and left field.
Okay. They put you out in left? They should have put you out in center.
And well, I didn't really want to run that far.
You had to save your legs for football, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing enough. I was already playing 4 sports. They call the Johnny Rodgers rules against the rules in Omaha Public School to be able to play 4 sports now, because I used to play baseball and run track at the same time. It would take me to the track meet, and I would do a long jump and a triple jump. And then they would pick me up, and I had my baseball uniform on, and I go to the baseball game, and then I wake up the next morning and read who I beat at the track meet.
So, do you think they made that rule because you were just beating everybody and they were just trying to make somebody else win?
No, I think it was a little kind of cumbersome to be able to have to go back and forth and then, like I said, to go to the track meet and then right to the baseball game. It was a little different. So I think they probably did the right thing.
I have to ask, was there one number that you wore in baseball? Or did you kind of just bounce around between numbers? I
just bounced around between numbers. I really didn't know any, other than Bob Gibson, there really were no guys that I knew, and then we were just coming up. We didn't know anything about whatever. We were just doing the things that we were doing at the time to try to be the best we could be. We knew guys that were from South Omaha, like Marlon and them would come over, and we'd have games at Coons Park where all the guys from all over the city would come to Coons Park and play on the weekends, play football on the weekends. And I had trouble getting in the game. There's a lot of times I sat there and waited for years trying to get in that goddamn game. Yeah. Because we had so many good guys in our neighborhood. John Butler. You guys ever heard of John Butler?
I don't think so.
Yes, I have not.
Well, John Butler was a wing back at Tech High. He was a year or so ahead of me. But John Butler was so good. He was the only guy that I ever really would admit that I thought was better than I was. Yeah. Yeah. He's right here from Omaha.
Well, I think on one hand, when it comes to like recruiting for Nebraska football, of course, we always talk about how Nebraska is sparsely populated, and in order for coaches to have success, they really have to branch out and kind of go past the 500-mile radius, where, I mean, we've been seeing, Coach Rule especially, really targeting the state, really keying in on guys in the state that look to be pretty good prospects.
Yeah, and want to be here.
And they want to be here. And, I mean, you're just proof positive that straight out of Omaha, like, there's talent here. And you just gotta look for it, and it's there, right?
We named quite a few guys that proved that we have talent right here in Omaha, and I don't think it stopped with us. I still think that we have plenty of talent in Omaha, and I'm upset when I don't see coaches focusing on our high school players, because they're developing out just like other people everywhere, and they want to be, as long as you can get the player to just have it in their mind that I just want to be a world-class player. It's not I want to be all city, all state, or all American. I want to be the best in the world. Mm-hmm. And that's the type of attitude that we have to put in them, coming right from the beginning, because they can be. And it turns out that we have tons of them. We don't even mention Ron Boone. Ron Boone played more games in NBA without an injury than anybody else in history. Mm-hmm. Call him Iron Man.
Yeah.
He was right down there too. I played with Ernie Boone. His brother played baseball with me in high school.
No kidding.
Wow.
Were you just surrounded by talent your entire life? Is that what I'm hearing?
Our whole city's surrounded by talent all my life. And I don't think that it stopped with just us, that we just have to develop it. But we had guys and coaches that spent their lives trying to develop talent, from the YMCA to the boys clubs and to our high schools. And that's where we started off. I started off at the Gray Y, which is before the Y. And then you went to the Y. Then we transferred over to the boys club, and it was vicious talent. I mean, yeah. And then we had the football teams paying like Roberts Dairy and all those guys. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, you probably don't remember that.
That's Highland now. That's Highland Dairy.
Y'all weren't around then.
So, hey, you were talking, Johnny, about these guys that you are recognizing for the Jet Award These are bad MFers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so just us as fans, we're watching the game. A guy goes back to return a punt, right? Come on. You can do better than that. Come on. Why you fair catch that?
Oh,
What's wrong with you?
There's no fair catching.
Yeah.
No.
That's against the rules. You're
That's
out.
against, we don't have fair catching. How are you going to score if you fair catch?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't need it. It don't happen.
If you fair catch, then you fumble and then you recover it and then return it, I guess. Is that a part of the rules? Can you still do that? Can you recover a fumble?
If you pick it up, your team picks it up.
Yeah, you can pick it up. But if you fumble it, you're more than likely not going to get to pick it up.
Right.
And you're more than likely not going to get back in the game either.
Well, I guess
that's a one-way ticket home.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. I just from a fan perspective, again, we have the tendency to be like, look, you're just returning a punt. What's wrong with you? Come on.
Well, that's because you
that's
probably have never returned a punt.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's guys out there ready to take your life.
Listen, I don't think there's anybody better than you to ask. Like, take us into the mind of a punt returner. Take us into the unique skill set that you need to have in order to be a successful punt returner that gets invited to the Jet Award.
Well, first of all, you have to be able to catch a BB in the dark at midnight with no moon with your sunglasses on.
With one eye. Eyes closed.
One eye. It might not happen one eye at the time. But you have to be daring. You have to be daring. The real key to my success was I always had a man that protected me to get the very first man down. Because there's going to be a guy coming down, and more times than not, you see the coaches don't take in consideration that man, and they end up tackling the guy, but darn it when he gets the ball. But you have to have a man to be able to get that first man, and your team has to be dedicated on trying to knowing and believing that you could break this punt return and make a difference in the game. I mean, because it's up to them. I don't do it by myself. I never ran a punt by myself. Right. It was always the team. But everybody was dedicated on making sure. I would come out and we didn't even call punt return left or right. I was just getting huddled and say, everybody get a break. Everybody get a block. Ready? Break.
Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And you can see on Sundays during film, who got a block and who didn't. Yeah. And you did not want to be the ones who missed your block. Right. And we had problems. So everybody was pretty dedicated upon it. So they were high-level performers as well. They got the block. And you can see in the punt returns, I have some against like Oklahoma State where you can just count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got that one myself.
That was me right there.
I mean, really. I have it on film of how many blocks I would get on one punt return. Everybody get a block. And that was really the mission for it. It's an attitude. It's an attitude. Mm-hmm. It's not in one person or two people. There are no just star people just stand out. They're supported by other people who have that same mindset, who really want to be the best that they could be right now.
So if you are Bob Devaney, or if you're on Bob Devaney's staff and you're watching film and someone misses a block, what happens to them?
They could run. Well,
stadium stairs?
Well, yeah, you can run stadium stairs, or you can run around the stadium outside. Outside the stadium.
Walk your happy ass home. And I think your point about, look, it's not just you. It's all the 10, 11 other guys on the field with you making it happen. And you even coined yourself the ordinary superstar. Mm-hmm. Just, if you want to get into that a little bit more, just
that's my Canadian name.
Your Canadian name.
Okay. Yes, and because I'm just an ordinary person, but ordinary people become superstars. And you have to go there by example. And that's kind of the example that we had. It was an attitude that we had. And you carry your attitude around. And when I got to Montreal, which where our ordinary superstar came from, that's what happened. The attitude caught on there, and I was able to be Rookie of the Year that first year. I think I was all pro 2, 3, 4 years in a row. And then we won the Grey Cup, the Canadian Super Bowl, because we had guys who had that kind of attitude, who wanted to be the best at the time right now, who was willing and able, ready to run those stadium stairs whether you had to or not. to stay out after practice because you need to have to just know you need. If I do this, I'm going to be better because I just put in more work. Tom Osborne and I spent more time after practice catching passes than we did during practice. Every day. We run stairs together every day, every day, because I believe wholeheartedly that whoever gets tired first loses. So you got to take on upon yourself to get to see how good you can be by making sure you're not the first one tired.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break out and you're on the long run and you see them coming after you, you got to know they're going to quit first.
Yeah.
How great was the feeling as you break those runs, looking back and seeing somebody just slowly get slower and slower and you're just pulling away? Was that just the best feeling in the world?
Only time I ever saw that was on film, because first rule is you never look back.
Yeah. You weren't throwing up the deuces at them.
They're there.
And,
Well, I did turn around backwards several times. I used to run touchdowns backwards. That was that was my signature move, was to run in backwards. So I would turn around sometimes and to see just where they were, and just to make it exciting for the crowd. Trying to sell more tickets. Sometimes we had to be pretty good by margin, but it was because of the team. It allowed me the liberty to be able to do that. And I had players, that were committed to trying to be the best that they could be. If everybody commits to trying to be the best that a human being could be, you can be that. If you can believe that, you can do that. If you have the ability, then it's just a mindset of just taking yourself to that level and doing what you have to do. No excuses. We just do whatever we have to do, and we always do it now.
Yeah. So you bring up doing it now. And so I've watched a lot. I work with Herd at Sports. So I've watched a lot of the run with you and Tommy and Anna Bellinghausen.
Okay.
And that's always been, it seems like a focus for you. Every time it comes up, it's like, well, they need time to do this. They need time to do that. And then I look over and you're shaking your head going, no, now. Like
I tell Tommy that now. Tommy.
Yeah. Right now, Tommy Frazier, like we need to do it right now. And that's something I think I'm guilty of. I think that's something that like a lot of the fan base is guilty of, is like, yeah, it takes time. It takes time. Well, the guys you have in the building right now can do it.
Well, I tell you, the most important thing that we have in life is time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that we got that when it's gone, is gone. It ain't coming back no more. And it's very short time. I mean, I'm talking to for Metro Community College here in a couple of days for their 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary is only 600 months.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's 50 years, 600 months.
You put it that way.
Yeah. The average life expectancy of people today is 70 years. That's 840 months.
That's crazy.
By the time that you're 30, you use up 360 months of your best time, your prime time. That time you could burn that candle on both ends. That gives you 480 months, 25,200 days or tries, and then it's gone. It's no more.
He broke it down like that.
Johnny.
He broke it down
Johnny,
like
you got me regretting everything about my life.
Mike and I,
it's about now.
Mike and I turned 30 this year. Jared,
360
you're
months.
way too far gone.
Don't worry about me.
It's 360.
Listen, I'm in my own head now because of everything you just said. I'm like, well, hey, at least I'm doing this with Johnny Rodgers. I mean, come on. It could be a lot worse. Right. Okay, my life could be a lot worse.
Well, the big problem people have is that they don't realize how important it is. And like, you want to sleep in, you want to mess off. You don't really want to get yourself to think about trying to be the best. You want to do the extra stuff you got to do. There's no extra. That's your responsibility. You're not thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are what you think about most of the time. So what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, was there ever a time where like you questioned that mindset, or were you always just so driven to be the best, want to be the best, have to be the best?
Well, I think I grew up with guys like Josh Gibson, Bob's brother, and he was passionate about being the best, and he pushed Bob. That's how Bob got to be where Bob was. Then I had a high school coach, Bob Rose. He was the same way. I remember he told me to run around the gym until he got tired. I said, God damn, coach, when you go get tired?
There's something about guys named Bob, apparently.
Yeah.
Bob Devaney, Bob Gibson,
Rose.
Bob Rose.
That's right. I had a lot of Bobs in my life.
Yeah.
But they were trying to teach us early in life really what it takes to make that difference. And then once you get it and you got it, it doesn't go away. Then you apply that attitude to everything you do, and especially when you understand how significant time is. How am I going to use my time? Well, I'd rather use it working on my skills and my trade, to how good I could be. I mean, I didn't get that slam about catching a BB in the dark. My cousin Willie and I used to shoot a BB gun at each other to catch the BBs.
Did you ever catch one?
Always caught them. Always. And a couple of times they caught me.
So you're talking about living in the moment, living now. Do you think that Matt Rule is kind of instilling that mindset in the current 2024 roster, or I guess what you know of, I guess, with the 2023, 2024 time since Matt Rule's been here?
Well, I don't know what Matt is thinking, but I think we need to do more now.
Okay.
We went all November last year and didn't win a game.
Mhm.
That's not now.
That's
Yeah.
not now.
That's not now. I'm sure we're going to come. We had a fairly decent schedule. I'm confident that we're going to go to a bowl game. But I think they're kind of pacing it out. They're not putting it all in. They're not trying to get it all now because you might get too much expectations, too much too fast. We got to pace these Husker fans out a bit.
Oh.
They've been hungry for so long.
Yeah.
But you just got to want to win. Winning isn't everything. It really isn't everything.
But it's a lot.
It's the only thing, right?
Well, in
No?
Nebraska, we rated right up there with oxygen. It's pretty darn important.
We
here.
rated up there with oxygen.
Yeah.
We've been kind of oxygen starved.
We've been
For a little
suffocating.
while.
Suffocating.
That's why we got to win now, because
Now.
we are suffocating right
We
now.
got to win now, and then we'll be forced to continue to win.
Mhm.
And that's what most teams don't want. Once you get a reputation for winning, everybody expects you to win. So you got to put more of everything into your program. When you win every now and then you just got to every now and then. There's no
Right.
pressure. You stay up there amongst the best, but you don't be the best.
It's like Iowa a little bit. Like they're up there a little, but they're not going to reach the pinnacle. Their fans don't expect them to reach the
Well, that's
pinnacle.
because they came from a long way back.
Mhm.
See, they came from a long way back. So to be up there, they're happy that they're there. And they're really happy that they're above us.
Yeah.
And we're not that happy about that.
Right,
No,
right.
absolutely
We shouldn't
not.
be.
No, we're not. We're not. So we have to have the public really has to put the pressure on all of our coaches and wherever they're at to make sure that we win now. And we don't want to just win a little bit. We want to win a lot all the time because our lives are going to go back and by fast. Our kids are going to have these experiences now, and they're not going to get the same type of experience if you wait till later. We got to show them that we can do it now. Put the plan together and work the plan. The first rule of the plan is do not divert from the plan. We got to work it now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have a question in regards to your track career. You said that you did long jump and triple jump, right?
Yeah, I was a national champ in the long jump and the triple jump.
Okay. So this is something that's kind of new for Nebraska fans. You're learning about these recruits that Matt Rule and company are going out and getting that are excellent at long jump, triple jump, track events in general. So you had Jeremiah Charles and you had Jalen Lloyd, I think last weekend, right? Competing.
They ran for
Yes.
the University of Nebraska.
Yeah.
They ran and they did like long jump and triple jump, and they did very, very well considering that they're football players, right? I just want to know what is the connection there? Like, obviously you have to be a great athlete to compete in two different sports, but track in general, doing triple jump and long jump for two guys that are supposed to be a DB and a wide receiver, what's the connection there?
Speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simply. And it's not always just forward speed, it's lateral speed. You have to be quick. You have to be quicker than light.
Mhm.
But like a triple jump there, you got three moves that you're doing, and one that teaches you to move better.
Okay.
And track is for speed. It's no sense in catching the ball and people run you down like a dog.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, that's a good question because I think there might be some skeptics out there that are like, well, you're recruiting these athletes,
Yeah, track guys.
track guys.
Realistically.
And it's like, on one hand, that's really cool that you can run really fast and jump really far and high. But, football is a sport that is very different. And I think the whole mindset thing that you were talking about before, I think in order to play football at such a high level, your mindset's got to be unbelievable. I mean,
yeah.
it's stressful. It's a different animal
You're absolutely
You
right.
know?
If you're not participating in it early, then you might not get it. Have you guys ever heard of John Carlos?
Mm-mm.
John Carlos used to be one of the fastest men in the world. He was the fastest. He beat Bob Hayes and those guys way back in the day. And John came to play for the Montreal Alouettes. And my responsibility was to help him, to work him and to help him catch. He was faster than light, but he couldn't catch a cold.
Yeah.
Did you get him there?
No.
Yeah, right. There's only so much you can do, Johnny.
He wasn't catching BBs, man.
He couldn't do it. He just couldn't catch. And especially in the crowd. I mean, it's hard to keep focused when somebody's getting ready to blast you.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to really have put in some time early in life in order to really get associated with what you're doing. But it is a good thing. Some of those guys have already played football and basketball to some level.
Mhm.
But like I said, they are good athletes. And then some people are just fast.
Yeah.
But others are athletes. The difference between being fast and being an athlete. Athletes can kind of pick up, but sometimes you can just be fast, naturally just fast. And that could be the case. But you have to have repetition and practice. And it has to be what you really want to do. A lot of people don't want to get hit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to get hit. I mean, and they could do it until you get hit hard, Nobody really want to get hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got those Tweety birds flying around. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Was
That's
there?
right.
Concussion protocol.
If there's anything I know, if you saw Connor run in a race against Marissa Voss in
Okay,
Minnesota,
I won that race.
Connor's fast. I wouldn't say he's an athlete.
Yeah. So, hey, I'll take that. I will take that.
And I wouldn't say he's
Got an
fast.
example.
Yeah, I actually will take that. So you talk about, some of these guys can get out there, they're good athletes, but they don't want to get hit. Was there ever a matchup that you had where you were a little concerned about the guy lining up across from you?
Well, not really lining up across from me. Those guys, I'd meet linebackers that I come across. Running punch back, and being a wide receiver, you might come across some of the toughest guys that they're not across from you, but they end up right there with you from time to time. But no, I never had a fear of doing anything but competing and trying to be. It didn't make it. The bigger the guys were for me, the easier it was for me to elude them.
That's
so
fair.
they were scareder than I was.
Yeah. They got to catch you first.
They had a reason to be too, because I didn't plan on getting caught.
Yeah.
So I figured the bigger they are, the more advantage I had, not disadvantage, in this game, in the football game, especially at running back. Now, if I had to block one, there was lots of time because I was a wing back, I had to do the same thing, and the tight end had to do on the other side. So I had to come down on some of the tackles and different some of the big people, but it'd be a surprise. And you hit them low. They scared to come to a little guy hitting you low.
Yeah.
Probably be flagged for that now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But now, yeah.
Johnny, do you think your game would translate to today's football with all the additional rules and just really everything has changed? I feel like it's changed with football since it was actually football, like the way it was played back in the day, the way it was meant to be played. Do you think your game would translate?
Well, probably easier, better, because it's easier.
Yeah.
They don't have we didn't have all the rules that you have here right now.
Yeah.
So it would make it a little bit easier. That you can't hit people. You can't even hit them hard. That hard. And it's football.
I think
it'd be easier, but the guys are bigger and they are faster now overall than they used to be. You used to have some big guys and some fast guys, but now they got big fast guys.
Yeah.
But like I said, when you're a really athlete and you got a big fast guy and you're a smaller faster guy, you still, to my mind, have the advantage, because the big guys can't really, even though I don't care how big or fast they are, they're not going to be as quick as you are.
Yeah. Hello, Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah. I think a thing, just kind of going back to your joke there, that in today's football, you can't hit hard. And I think that's going to inspire me to think positive in a way. Like when Nebraska was really good, it's because you could play football. And ever since all these rules started coming, you can't hit guys, you can't tackle that hard, Nebraska just hasn't been as good.
Nebraska was targeted.
Yeah, they changed the rules because we are too good. Right.
Well, we have to make those adjustments.
Yeah.
There were rules then too. You couldn't do a certain amount of things, and we adjusted then, and we need to be able to adjust now, because it hadn't really changed that much. It's pass and catch and hit and And
It's blocking and tackling.
Blocking and tackling.
That's it. Right. But you have to have a plan, and you have to have a team that's going to work that plan. Athletes that are committed to the plan. I mean, it's no different. And it's just a matter of recruiting the kind of people that are really willing to get the job done and want to go to the next level. It's no sense in recruiting somebody just to be on the team that doesn't want to go to the next level, because they're not going to give you your best. But if you want to go, or you have to go to the next level, or your family's not going to make it, those are the guys that we want. They're really getting ready to put it out there, whatever it takes to win, because they're looking for a future. They want to do. They're not trying to pay their way through college. They're trying to go to the pros.
They're thinking big picture, long term.
They're thinking greatness.
Trying to be the best.
The world class. Yeah. And whatever profession you're in, you guys, y'all need to be thinking about being. We can't just do a little podcast.
Yeah. Damn. We're talking football.
No, we ain't talking. We're talking about world class thinking.
World class
on all levels.
You see this equipment? This is world class, Johnny.
That's right. I thought about that.
I think Johnny might slip in 2 sound bites into our little.
Yeah, right.
So Johnny, talking about winning now. Maybe you've seen this, but Vegas released win totals for Nebraska, and they said 7.5. For Nebraska this year. So that's their projected win total by Vegas, 7.5. So are you thinking like 7.5 is too low? Or are you thinking like, I mean, you got to be thinking that's too low, right? With your mindset.
We didn't win any games in November. I definitely can't think it's like it's too low.
Yeah.
I think that it's realistic. Like I said, I really believe wholeheartedly that we'll go to a bowl game. That takes 6. So to get 7, we get one we missed this year, we'll pick it up next year.
Please.
Oh, we will go to a bowl game next year.
He's calling it. He's calling a shot.
No doubt. I mean, like I said, they're predicting 7. 6 is a bowl game. I believe that we can get that. Looking at the schedule at the first of the year, we have a very good chance of winning 6, 7 games right up front. But we have a very difficult time closing it out. For the rest of the season, it gets a little bit tougher. But we'll get to 6. We'll get to 6 throughout the year. I'm very confident about that.
At least 6.
At least 6, yeah.
All right, I'm with it.
But see, that's my problem. Everybody's happy with just that.
Yeah.
I want 10, 11.
Oh, I know what you want, Johnny. I know
Johnny,
you want.
I want them all.
This is a guy who's played in national championship games. He's played in Orange Bowls.
Every year we play in Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
3 years in a row.
Yeah, you made it unfair. Now
you set the bar too high.
Yeah, we want the Pinstripe Bowl now.
We just showed you what's possible.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
good point.
Husker fans have this reputation of talking about the 70s, of the 90s, because you were a part of developing that expectation. And you talked about earlier, a lot of programs don't want that expectation. When you guys were succeeding like you did, obviously that expectation for winning was there. Did that drive you, or did it kind of stay in the back of your head like, I have to perform like this? Or was it like, they expect me to perform like this and I'm going to go out there and prove to them that I can?
No, it's not a matter of proving to them. You want it. You want it. Then we want it. Yeah, we want it. The coaches wanted to be the best coaches. The players wanted to be the best players. The university wanted to have the best university at that time. That was just everybody's thing. Everybody was just in on the deal. It was not, they didn't have to push us to win. If you work hard, we win. Well, we're trying to work as hard as we can because we want to win. We want to be the best. Every individual I ever played with wanted to be the best that they could be and knew that they could be better than they were. And you get better with repetition. You keep trying, you keep thinking, you keep doing better. And if you get a little help from my friends, we can really take it off. If everybody puts in on this mindset, we come from just being a regular team to a powerful team. And we're a thoughtful team. We came up with defenses and offenses that they hadn't even came up yet. Tom Osborne, I think, was the creator of the pro and the spread. We had the offense they didn't even have coming up then, really. And they were motivated. Coach Devaney, all the bowl games and all the extra things we ever got, they got bonuses for. He never took a bonus. He gave all the coaches all the bonuses that he ever got. He passed on to the other guys to keep the coaches there because a lot of our coaches could have been head coaches other places.
Yep.
But they were making more money here and more credibility here with Coach Devaney than they were if they went somewhere else themselves.
So we had the opportunity to interview Gary Saddlemeyer a couple weeks ago, and he had some pretty fun and fond memories of Bob Devaney. Do you have a favorite memory of Bob Devaney?
You don't tell dirty jokes, do you?
You certainly can.
That's all we do.
We sure do.
That's all we do.
That's
Johnny, I'm begging you to tell. I'm begging you.
I can't do it.
Keep it close.
Can't do it. I have a good one too.
We can say it off air if you want to.
There you go.
Coach Devaney was just very passionate about when he got around. He got around, but he was into winning. And that's what translated. And the coaches, like I said, he knew how to treat the players, he knew how to treat the coaches, and he was in society a lot. But Bob was out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out.
so we heard.
Yeah, so we were passionate about winning and
Some other things.
And some other things.
Going out.
well, speaking
I
of
met him coming in when I was going out. No, it was the other way around.
just passing each other.
Orange Bowl.
Well, no, go on, Johnny. Go on.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough.
We'll just lead you down that path. I'm assuming that you are familiar with Gary Saddlemeyer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And, another topic that kind of came up, and it kind of inspired some conversation, about Tom Osborne. Listen, we're going to be biased here, of course, and you might be as well. And one of the things that came up was we just think that Tom Osborne is the greatest college football head coach of all time. And of course, you got Nick Saban, he won more titles, and Bear Bryant will come up. But
Boy, Brian, we tore that ass up.
that's all I need. No, but like, I know T.O. was your offensive coordinator mostly, and you kind of came up in the latter half of Bob Devaney's career when he was about to retire. And just Tom Osborne going to, Gary went into the kind of genius mind that he was, how he was just next level thinker. And the guy across from him on the sideline he didn't know what was about to hit him in about 2 minutes, right?
Well,
What was your impression of him?
Like I said earlier, Coach Osborne was the creator of the pro and the spread offense. The creator. It wasn't here.
The genesis.
Bob got around, but Tom didn't party at all. He just studied.
Right.
He just studied and created. And like I said, when you create a whole darn offensive scheme, I mean, you're the man.
Yeah.
You're the man, and it works, and you implement it under pressure, and you get the guys to be able to go for it because they believe in it too. You're the man.
Yeah.
He's definitely the man. He's a genius.
Created something that lasted for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Still being used today.
Everybody uses it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody uses it. They weren't using it before.
Greatest of all time.
All time.
Boom. Boom. Did you guys have any other questions or anything like that?
No. I mean, my dad wouldn't believe it. I'm sitting next to Johnny Rodgers having a conversation right now. So,
If I didn't tell my dad in person today that I was going to be sitting next to Johnny Rodgers, he would have called me a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only question.
Too kind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool, man. Like, this is the podcast itself is kind of lived on through just getting to get to know guests and media personalities and stuff around Nebraska, and to have you here and hanging out, considering that you were on our show probably 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it was almost 3 years ago.
We were in his basement.
One microphone we were passing around.
Yep.
And we were having a conversation with you
on Zoom.
Well, I'm glad you guys moved up.
World class, baby.
Yeah. Like you said, listen, we can't just be the podcast.
Yeah. You don't want to be just another podcast.
Yeah.
And if you don't think about it, like I said, you are what you think about most of the time. If you don't think about it, you will be just another podcast. And if you're getting people are listening and you're getting sponsored, you figure you're doing well. But you could do better.
Yeah.
You could have a national show. Then you can have an international show. Why not?
Why not?
Why?
I hear you, Johnny. I hear you.
We're chasing.
Really?
Dare I say, world class in every cast.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can sign off on that trademark usage.
You never
You should just leave now.
Yeah, I
You
can
never
sign
get
off
a
on that.
second chance to make a first impression.
Yep.
You got to be thinking about it. Like I said, you are what you think about most of the time. So be careful what you're thinking and think harder on something. When you think you got it, you don't. You just got started.
We're the best.
Don't
We're the
think you
best.
got
We're
it.
the best.
You
We're the
just got
best.
started.
Damn straight. We're the best.
We did have a question in the chat, and I thought it'd be kind of a good answer to get from you, Johnny.
That actually might be my dad.
Oh, okay. He said, regarding the wishbone, at any time, did T.O. ever consider running wishbone and seeing how Oklahoma opened us running it? That's what he said.
No,
Opened up.
I think that's maybe what he meant.
Our big challenge was is how to defend it. We never wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, he came up with the pro and the spread. He was thinking opposite
Mhm.
from running everybody from the backfield, but it's hard to defend.
Yeah.
But we came up with ways to be able to defend it. We shut Greg down. Greg Pruitt was one of the best ones of all time going, and we shut him down. Richie Glover shut him down.
Yeah.
And what's the center's name? I forget the center's name for he was All-American center,
right?
For Oklahoma. Brahaney, I think it was Brahaney. Richie dogged him out.
Whatever his name is, because that's why we don't remember.
Tom Brahaney.
Because he got dogged out.
Yeah, he got dogged out. Really beat him like a stepchild.
Redhead stepchild. That's great. Okay. I mean, if there is no other questions kind of about his playing career or anything like that, I think we just jump over to the most current version of the Jet Awards. And I know I saw that one of the Legacy Award winners this year is DeJuan Gross.
DeJuan Gross is my niece's husband.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's great that he's coming and bringing a lot of the family and stuff with him.
That's not the only reason why that's not the only reason why he's getting that award.
Oh no,
it's because he was
like,
he's a bad MFer.
He's got more yards than me.
So he's bad.
He's a bad ass. No, he's great. And Danny Woodhead, he's got the what do you call it? The Heisman Trophy for second.
Yeah, for D2.
For D2, yeah.
I think he won it twice, didn't he? I mean,
two times. Yes, he won it 2 times.
And of course, had a pretty good NFL career.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead, he's a badass guy from Nebraska too, out west. We don't have a lot coming from out west.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but no, he's a badass here, and he's coming here too. But that Zachariah Brandt, man, I seen his tapes. I couldn't really believe he's only a freshman. And he's really tough. I mean, he looks like he's very seasoned. He could go to the NFL now.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
He's really a badass.
Okay.
Yeah, and then who else do we have coming here? We got Larry the Cable guy. And
Larry.
Get her done. Get her done.
Yeah.
Larry and I spent Thanksgiving together this year, and I asked him about would he come on to do this stuff for us? Because, like I said, it's really important to us that we get all of our community involved. We just don't want to have the elite group involved. This is a community thing that we want to share with everybody.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, when you can see Larry for $35, you better get on it.
Right.
Absolutely.
You better get on it and bring your kids and bring everybody, because we want to fill in those other seats so we can have everybody. Last year when we had our event, we had so many kids that were coming up afterwards that were taking pictures. That were part of the deal. It was the biggest thing they ever been around.
Right.
It's the big thing for a lot of our adults that ever been around.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, when we bring in a whole group of people like we do with Richie Glover, and last year I had Kellen Winslow came in, world-class guy. We got Eric Crouch, Mike Ogier. It's world-class.
Mm-hmm.
They're world-class. You won't be there. You got to be there because it's live, because we don't do instant replays.
That's right.
Yeah.
There ain't no tape on it. There ain't no tape this time.
tape.
Just like right now, we're live.
And right now, we're live.
The lights are bright. So those people that go to the awards, is there anything that they can do? I know that there's opportunities for like donating for scholarships, I believe.
Well, what we do is we raise money for scholarships.
Right.
That's what we do with the money. We're raising money to get people opportunity to go to Metropolitan Community College, in whatever trade you want to go to. And when I went to Tech High was a trade school, and they got closed. So Metro came along and took that place, and they do it better than most ever. They have a world-class operation going on over there at Metro Community College, where All of our kids right now have an opportunity to come into some type of trade, and trades are far more lucrative in a lot of ways than getting a traditional college education.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, you don't have no big student loan debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
My
too.
bank account tells
Scholarship,
me.
but I still got one.
You still got one? Shoot.
Well, I left school when I was in my senior year. My second semester, I left, and I kept saying I'm gonna come back and get it, come back and get it. And hell, it took me 20 years. I think I was 40 something before I came back. I came back and I got a degree in broadcasting and advertising. And I remember all the kids asked me, say, Mr. Rodgers, what are you gonna be when you graduate? What are you gonna be when you graduate? And I always tell them 50.
Yeah. Being a high school teacher, I cannot tell you how many kids I've had to have those conversations. Like, yeah, their parents probably want them to go to college, right? And I'm like, college ain't for you.
They can go to a trade school.
Go to a trade, please. Be a
community
plumber.
college. Yeah, they make drop dead way more money. Way more money. And then the electricians are off the chain. Right? Off the chain. Yeah. I mean, the girls, nurses, doctors, they got everything you want at the community college. 100 different trades that you could possibly get into that could take you to a whole new level.
Well, and there's never going to be a lack of demand for people that are going to trade schools. We need those people.
We need them, but they don't know. They just don't know.
Right.
Their parents keep telling them, but go to college, and they're thinking 4-year college, and they can't afford to go to a 4-year college. And they're not thinking about going. There's a lot of people that don't even know where Metro Community College is, and they live around the corner.
Yeah, and there's six locations around here.
Right. Yeah. And they don't know where it is. They haven't really heard about it. Education is not, it's, when you think about world-class anything, you start about learning. That's education, whatever field that you're in. And because education is not part of your life. Education is life itself. We got to have more learning. We got to have more teaching. We got to find the things that you can do, because when people get into trouble, it's because they don't have things to do. You have to find something productive you can do.
Idle hands.
Trades like a CDL license. You get a CDL license in 13 weeks. They pay about $100,000.
Yeah, they're making 6 figures.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah.
So I think if there's any high school age students out there watching, listen, if college isn't your thing, if you don't want to sit in a classroom for hours.
Metro Community, it's a college.
It is a college.
Well, I should.
If a traditional 4-year college.
Right, it's a 2-year college.
Yeah.
Community college.
I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Let me pray. Yeah. Change that. If you're thinking about going to University of Nebraska Lincoln and sitting in a classroom listen, you're in high school, 8 hours is not for you. Just imagine college where you're going to have homework, writing essays over and over and over. Just go to Metro, please.
Metro, their study plans are no joke either. You have to work.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you have to work. You have to put into it. If you want to be a plumber, you have to work your ass off to be a plumber.
Oh, yeah.
They don't just give plumbing degrees away. They just don't give CDL license away. You have to work for wherever it is you want, but you have to have it in you. Somebody's got to tell you that they're not giving shit away.
Yeah.
You got to work for whatever it is you want to be. You can do that, but you have to work for it. And you have to compete, because there's other people out there that want to do that too. And they are thinking world class. Somebody told them that you got to be better. You got to do better than you're doing.
Yeah. Do you want to know why there's so many successful Metro graduates out there? Metro made them work for it.
That's right.
They made them world class.
That's right.
World class.
They taught and they learned.
That's why KB is sitting here.
Yeah. Graduated from Metro.
That's right.
Metro is a world class university.
Yeah,
no
I
doubt
like
about
it.
They're very on the time. The things that are really available and necessary for now, for people to really get ahead in life, they're on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, for people that need more information about the Jet Awards, what's the website that you can guide them to?
JetAward.com.
Oh, that easy.
That
Too easy.
JetAward.com.
Yeah, where you can see the baddest men on the planet.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, guys. Well, Johnny, Mr. Rodgers, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
The best podcast in the world.
Yeah, we're
you listen. You've put that in the best in the world.
And you'll notice none of us have hit the portal yet.
Yeah, we're still here.
Still here, baby. We're still grinding.
Yep.
Well,
Now.
somebody might be out there listening and draft one of you guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
We want you to come with us. You got the right attitude.
We're gonna move to the pros. I'm out.
Yeah.
Pro podcasters. They're pro podcasters. I mean, they're out there. There's books out there about how to get advertisers, how to do this, how to do that. You guys need to be reading up on every facet there is.
We
to
might
take it
need
to
to-
that level.
We might need to read that book.
Yeah.
I just said I got the book at home.
You should have brought it.
I didn't
Podcasting
know. I didn't
101.
know, fellas.
If you would have given it, if you would have signed it, give us that book. We would have read it, and then we probably would have put it on the wall up here somewhere.
Mounted it. Yeah.
I tell you, I don't know where I'm even going until it's time. I'm going out there so much. So I was surprised. Just, I had no idea really what was about to happen.
Hey,
Yeah.
hopefully you don't regret it.
No, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. We're talking about things that I know a little bit about, and we're talking about the Huskers. And I really want us to get to be a world-class program again. I really don't like, people calling me from California, New York, talking about, crazy stuff that we haven't done this and somebody beat our ass.
What's going on over there? What's going on in
It's hard. It's hard.
It is
It's hard. And they take a punch at you all the darn time. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nothing you can do. I'm not even there. It's been 50 damn years.
Well, that's how you know we are a blue blood program. And that's how guys like you and Rich Glover and Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne
Go down the list.
on. And I'm not going to do that because it takes
Yeah,
forever.
it's extensive.
You guys helped build that. And we just got to get back there. So you can stop hearing
Well,
all that
it's
from
the
your coastal
university,
elites.
It's the city. It's the whole attitude, a community attitude. It's like Creighton. We want Creighton. People, I go to Creighton games. And people upset because I go. But
Yeah.
Creighton's got to. They're getting a world-class program.
Yeah. I mean, look,
they're a great.
They're
school.
fine. They're fine.
Hey, you can dislike Creighton, but you got to respect them.
Right.
you got to
That's-
respect the
That's
game.
what they've
Right.
earned.
Oh,
That's
right.
what they've earned.
I
They out there
guess.
beating the no. I went the other night. They beat the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
Hey, did
Yeah.
you storm? Did you storm?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dodging everybody.
Hey, I don't get that excited. I'm used to winning.
That's right.
This is old news.
I expect we win.
Right.
I'm not trying to do anything that we're not trying to do it the best that we can. And you can't do it all at once. You don't have instant gratification. It takes time.
Mhm.
It takes time. It takes work. It takes dedication. You really have to put something into it. And you got to surround yourself with a team. It's teamwork. You don't win Heisman trophies by yourself or national championships by yourself or build a great podcast, world-class podcast team by yourself. It's always going to be in conjunction with each other that you make your greatest accomplishments, and teamwork going to make that dream work.
Absolutely.
The king of drops, I'll tell you.
I heard like 5 in that. Oh my God.
Which one can we use?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, we can't thank you enough for
Yeah.
taking the
Thank
time
you.
out. Johnny Rodgers, Heisman Trophy winner, the Jet Awards named after him,
Mhm.
the greatest
That's because I
return
named
man.
it.
Yeah.
Because I named it.
Well, when you're the baddest motherfucker to do it,
Mm-hmm.
I think you
Then-
get that right.
yeah, you've earned that right.
Yep.
Okay, guys, go to nbnrpodcast.com. Our website has merch. Some of us are wearing the merch. Some of us aren't. It's okay. On Twitter. Oh, I know. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
All of them.
TikTok.
That's it.
Instagram.
TikTok. Oh, yeah.
Did you say Instagram?
You guys on all that?
Everything,
Oh,
man.
Oh man, you
You
got
have
a
to
good
be.
start.
World
You gotta.
class. You got to be
Yeah, you
to be
gotta
able to
be
be
it all.
world class. You got to be on all of it.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
And it's all the same handle, NBNR Podcast. Give us a follow. Give us a like. 5-star review. We want it. Need it.
That's right. But make sure you turn out to be world class. Tell your children about it. World class. It can't just be any class. You got to try to be the best. At least put the effort in to go for it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how far you can go. You
Yeah.
don't know until you try. A lot of people just don't try.
Again.
Oh, believe me, we're surprised we're sitting here.
Yeah.
Again, I did not imagine I'd be sitting here with you, sir.
I didn't imagine I was going to be sitting here with you either.
What better way to end it right there?
Yeah.
Johnny Rodgers,
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
All right.
our listeners, thank you. We love you.
Every day's game day, y'all.
Every day's game day.
Hey.
Not every other day.
Right.
Hey, as always, beat Ohio State tonight
Yes.
in GBR.